Fantastic. A subject I know well. Me, anyway. Couple things. First of all, I believe that the position of county commissioner is the least understood and yet the most impactful governmental position that affects any of the residents. And the other part about what a Bucks County commissioner that many people don't realize, Bucks County has 600,000 population, which means that the population of our county is equal to or close to the population of the entire state of Montana or New Hampshire and 2 or 3 others. So the position of a county commissioner, while little understood, literally impacts the residents from cradle to grave, because commissioners oversee the Children and Youth Agency, which has women and infant children, which is birth. The commissioners oversee elections, oversee in conjunction with the courts, oversee the court system. And if you all travel to go out of the country, you're going to need legal documents to do that. You will get those at the county courthouse. The county has the park, oversees the park and recreation, the county library, and the county is the provider of services, which gets us into a very dicey position now. The federal government is an absolute mess. They, as the providers of funds, I don't know where their next dimes come. Well, I know where it's coming from, our grandchildren, but my grandchildren, your children. But the fact is, the federal government, as a provider of funding for counties, is going to be difficult this year. The state, with a new administration, has said that they are looking to cut funds. Fine. That gets us to the counties. So with all the state and federal governments cutting funds that so very often flow through a county, the provider of services are going to fall more so on this next Board of County Commissioners. And we've got to be very careful when we say to Bucks Countyans, elect me and I will cut your taxes, or I won't raise your taxes, which, by the way, I am suggesting I would not do at first out of the box anyway. But a responsible citizen must ask that candidate who says, elect me and I'm not going to raise your taxes. You can't stop there. You dare not stop at that. You must ask the next question. And the next question is, well, what services will you then cut? And in that list that we just talked about, that's where a responsible commissioner will be thinking there, because the provision of services is going to fall far more heavily on counties than it did now. Now, one of the things you asked was what was my background. I went to a one-room schoolhouse in Bucks County and was raised in Bucks County. I taught at William Tennant High School for 15 years, coached cross-country for 30 years, and was a committee man in Warminster, a township supervisor in Warminster. As a lover of government, I received a Lyndon Baines Johnson Fellowship as a teaching fellowship, where I spent a summer in Washington with then Congressman Beaster as a summer teaching intern. And it happened to be, by the way, the summer of Watergate, which was a great summer time to be in Washington. At any rate, and then I received a Taft Fellowship to study state and local government for the following summer at Trenton State. And I then became a elected supervisor in Warminster, from 76 to 1980. 1980, I determined that I thought I could do a better job than the present commissioners were doing, and I ran for county commissioner in a primary with 12 other people, and Elaine Zedek and I made it, and then we were elected, the majority board, in 1980, and I served as county commissioner from 1980 through 1995, when then Governor Ridge asked if I would be interested in being the director of District 6, Bucks, Chester, Delaware, Montgomery County, as a transportation department. And and I did that after 15 years as county commissioner, which included the years of the pump. We built 7 libraries while I was a county commissioner. We built a new prison, the Art Center, the James Mitchell Art Center, and Human Services increased. This is a fantastic, fantastic county. It is one of the best counties, not only in Pennsylvania, but in the United States. I was a chairman of they call it president of the State Association of County Commissioners while I was a commissioner, obviously. And we then belonged to the National Association of Counties, which we don't now, and I believe this county should. And I was on the executive committee at NAC, the National Association of Counties, and chairman of their transportation committee nationally, which was why and served as a representative on SEPTA and chairman of the Delaware Valley Regional Planning Commission. So the example, I mean, that experience caused me, I guess, to be asked to go to the PennDOT organization. Or, as I said before, the secretary had a bad taco the night before and decided he was going to try, I was the only administrator in the Commonwealth history to head an engineering district and not be an engineer. So that's, and then the last 5 years I was a short time the borough manager in Tullytown, which is an interesting experience, and presently am the executive director of Penjerdale, which Thatcher Longstreth started 55 years ago. But one's heart never leaves Bucks County, and the position of county commissioner is, as I said, to me, the single most should be the single most effective government agency. It's the last government organization where we as citizens can personally address our elected officials on the floor of the government. For example, you can't go to Harrisburg and stand in the well of the House. You can't go to Congress and stand there. But you can come to a county commissioners meeting as a resident and directly address the elected officials, which is what we should, I think, is very good. And it's a time, this coming administration, well, now we're really here. The next thing, obviously, is going to be the appointment for Lieutenant Governor-elect Cawley's replacement. And that's going to be an insider's, in the best sense of the word, an insider's decision as the executive committee. And I obviously have applied for that, but it is, regardless of where that comes out, I fully intend to run for commissioner this coming year. So I would be in front of you sooner or later, and it's always sooner. Hopefully as an incumbent, but if not, I will run, period. The other thing that why I think it's important, I believe that I am better prepared now for the position of county commissioner than I was when I left, and I thought I was pretty prepared when I left. But in the interim, the issue, sometimes we as citizens have the prerogative of just picking and choosing as will. Other times, the events and the issues will dictate some of our choices. I contend that we are in a position right now, we can't have a on-the-job training with the appointed county commissioner. We will have the single, after the pump, or even bigger than the pump, the single largest construction project to ever impact this county. It's going to be right smack in the center of the borough.